health anxiety is a real thing.
Mike laughs at my health anxiety that I get. Mike told me like a week ago, he's like, we should talk about this on the pod. We should talk about like when you feel like you're going to die.
Hang on. You saying that I laugh about it without the context that I have makes me seem like a bad guy.
Not a bad guy. You're a good guy. You're a good guy with bad jokes.
I wouldn't laugh about it if it was the first or second or third time that we talked about it. Definitely not. And I didn't. I took it very seriously. But there's recurring patterns that.
Oh, yeah. Real. You know, dude, especially with my like journal that I found from when I was a kid.
Yeah. When you were 11.
Was I 11? Was that when that journal was?
I believe so.
Yeah. I found my mom shipped a box of my stuff to my apartment because we're going to be moving to a rental house soon. And she was like, oh, not because of that. Because she actually moved houses and she was getting rid of stuff. And so she sent me a whole box of random stuff. And in the box was an old journal. And there were 2 pages filled out of this whole journal. There were only 2 things. Did I tell you what was filled out on this thing?
Yeah, you did. But I have to give more background because you don't come off publicly as someone who worries as much as you worry. Yeah. And so with the background knowledge of, whether it's, dying is a very common worry, which bleeds into health anxiety, the prison that I think we've talked about.
Yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah. It'd just be the worst.
Yeah. But like various, and everyone has different fears, but the various fears and conversations we've had about them and almost you thinking that it's a more recent phenomenon.
Yeah. Cause dude, it's my memory.
And when you read and you're like, ESTPs have notoriously terrible memories, you're like, this makes so much sense.
Dude, it makes so much sense. And I was like, wow, I've just forgotten everything.
So you being worried about maybe a handful of things over a number of recent years was like, oh, why is this happening? So then when your mom delivered this journal from when, literally 20 years ago, and there were only 3 entries or something.
Wait, did I send you a picture of it?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I have it. Oh man. The best part is it says on the top page, Secret Diary, August 30th, 2002. Secret Diary. August 30th, 2002. 2002. Yes, that was 11 years old. Yeah. Today was a rough day. First, I woke up at 7 a.m. Then I got dressed and had a bagel and went to the orthodontist to find out my gums were fine after I worried about them for a week.
And this is funny because you viewed your childhood as, or I shouldn't say childhood, you viewed yourself as a kid as very carefree.
Yes.
And maybe even like your more recent, like yourself in your 20s as this carefree dude. And you're like, and that was an aha moment. And you called me immediately. I think you're like, I always worried.
Dude, I've always been a warrior. And I like forget, like I'll have a worry, then that worry will be relieved. Then I'll find a new worry and I'll forget about the previous one. And that's what I jumped from worry to worry. And I didn't even realize it until my 11-year-old self documented that I was really worried about my gums for a week.
A whole week.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ernest Becker wrote a great book about death anxiety, and his thesis was that all anxiety stems from fear of death, which definitely makes sense. Which absolutely makes sense because we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And makes even more sense if someone is a devout materialist, meaning doesn't believe in a soul or an afterlife.
Yeah.
Even people who do, we all have doubts. And so it's not just materialists. I remember JP taking it a step further, or he said that Becker was only wrong in that he didn't take the point far enough, which is that it's a wonder that we're not all constantly paralyzed with anxiousness because we are the first and only species to be able to recognize our mortality, right? Like dogs don't know that they're going to die. Even something as intelligent as a dolphin or a chimpanzee can't see that ending, but we humans do. And so he made the argument that it's a wonder that any of us can function with that knowledge, which I don't know if necessarily makes this feel any better. But I remember starting that book back in 2016, and I only got a few chapters in. I don't remember why I stopped.
If that's not the story of my life, started a book, didn't finish it.
Yeah. Well, I think the cardiologist stuff is going to come back really good for you.
Yeah.